Hi, I'm Sally, and I'm a journeyer. Gail Evers asked me to give some reflections on Journey's move from the warehouse to Beverly Hall. The move to Beverly Hall from the warehouse was not an easy move. Some were in favor of the move, and some were opposed. Time, money, and effort went into retrofitting the warehouse to meet our needs there before we even got there. Bob Werner is one who spent hours and hours making sure that we had all the rooms set up and plumbing and you name it. Many others put in a lot of time. Why would we move our church home after only 5 years or so? Could it be a better use of our resources to share a space and be more central and accessible to more people? I was on the Shepherd's team at the time, and our church leadership wrestled with these questions deeply. Many journeyers ended up leaving when the decision was made to move to Beverly Hall. For me, even though I had some concerns about the move, it was actually quite positive. The location was closer to my home, being more central versus North Austin. The space was more intimate, and it was much brighter than the warehouse, because I like light. Each week, several journeyers lovingly set up the space for our worship gathering, Steve Finnick being the anchor. Because Beverly Hall was part of Ross and Saunders School, there were plenty of classroom spaces upstairs, and the nursery and office space was shared with the Sanctuary Church, which was right next door. One of the key differences for me as a journeyer compared to my previous church experiences in Bible churches and evangelical free churches, at one evangelical free church, is that Rick and the Journey leadership always welcomed me to offer my ideas and volunteer as an adult Sunday school teacher and facilitator. I just felt so honored that I could do that. In these other churches, you weren't allowed because you were female, and there was supposed to be a male headship kind of thing. So won't get into that right now. We had picnics on the lawn in front and back of Beverly Hall with the occasional special music from some of the great Journey friend artists or journeyers that were artists. There was also a vision for a community garden that did come into existence with Journey's sweat and commitment. We pretty much used every inch of the space there. While the number of people coming to Journey seemed a bit smaller there at Beverly Hall, there was still a very intimate feeling when we were together in that space. I remember women's retreats, other, gatherings, picnics that we had. So every time I have a doubt about the future of Journey, I remember that it is really not all in our hands or under our control like we think it might be, but it's a God thing. And if we allow God to continue and the Spirit to keep moving, there's no telling what Journey will become just around the corner.